All right, welcome to this video where I will show you very quickly how to install the robots plugin. The robots plugin for Rhino and Grasshopper is a plugin that we can use to control different kinds of 6-axis industrial robots, for example, the universal robots that we are using. This plugin can also control and program ABB robots, KUKA robots, as well as Staubli robots, in addition to the universal robots. And which is also quite nice, it works on Mac and Windows. So no matter the platform you have, you can use this plugin, and it should work fine in Rhino and Grasshopper. You would need to have Rhino 7 to use the latest versions of this plugin. If you don't have Rhino 7 yet, if your university maybe uses an older version, of course I encourage you to upgrade or to install at least the trial version so you can use all the features. If that's not the case, you might have to use an earlier version of the plugin, but unfortunately I will not go over how to do that in this video. If you're using Rhino 7, it should be quite straightforward how to install it. It's installed via the package manager, which is simply a way for Rhino that is quite new to install plugins. There are many different plugins to control universal robots or to control robots in general in Rhino and Grasshopper. Some of them are free, some of them are paid. Some of them only work with very specific brands, some of them work with specific models or have a specific goal in mind, for example, robotic milling or robotic 3D printing. I believe that the robots plugin is one of the better ones. It's quite easy to use. Its feature set is, while it's restricted, it still has enough features to create even very complex and quite involved robot programs. So after starting Rhino, don't worry if your Rhino looks a bit different, this is just because I changed the colors. We will open the package manager. If you're using Rhino in English, you can simply type package manager. If you're not using Rhino in the English language, you probably have to put an underscore before typing package manager. The package manager opens and we will search for robots. Just wait, don't hit enter, the results will come up by themselves, and we will then select the robots plugin. Not robots extended and also not robot components, but the robots plugin. Of course, choose the latest version that is available to you and hit install. For me, it's already installed, so I don't need to do this step. However, if you just installed the plugin, pause the video, close Rhino and Grasshopper and reopen it before continuing so that the installation goes through completely. After the installation, we can then open Grasshopper. And there we should have a tab with our robots plugin. You might not have as many plugins as I have, so it might be spelled out, just robots right here. Either way, you can just hit on it and there are all the components that we will use to program the robots. There's one more step that we need to do before we jump into actually programming the robots, and that is actually getting a robot library. This is one of the drawbacks of the robots plugin. There are no robot models already installed or included in the plugin. We actually have to install those manually, and we do this by clicking the component load robot system, and then we hit this libraries button, and there we have a list of universities that have specific configurations for their robots. If you're using universal robots, you can simply use the KU Leuven library. If, of course, you're part of one of these universities that are actually mentioned here, you can, of course, use your university. However, if you don't find yourself there or you're not sure what kind of robots are included in all the libraries, simply download a few of them and see if the robots that you will use are there. I don't need to install one since I already have quite a few. And I will then simply use the KU Leuven UR10. And this is just the basic universal robot UR10. if you install from this robot libraries window, you might also need to close Grasshopper and Rhino for it to actually load, in case there's any problem with your file directory. But most of the time this should work just like that, and you should have all of the new robots that you just installed. There should not be any big difference between the universal robots of, for example, RMIT or KU Leuven. Simply take one that you take the robot model that you're actually going to use in real life. All right, that's it. That is how you can install the robots plugin. If you have any questions, you can leave a comment below. Or you can also, if you have a question regarding the robots plugin, you can of course go on to GitHub and search for visoze/robots, and there under issues you can add a new issue to figure out if there might be a problem with the installation, or if you have any kind of other issues. All right, and I'll see you in the next video.